How's it going, guys? Welcome. We appreciate you coming back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the 2026 YZ450F. I'm going to preface this whole video as we haven't, as media, received our test units yet. We're supposed to get our test units first part of September, but our good buddy Fireman Dave, that's Heather, Fireman Dave got his bike. So I thought, you know, I'm going to come over here to his house and just kind of go over some changes that I witnessed at Loretta Lynn's, because I did look at the bike at Loretta Lynn's, but now we have it here in the garage. So we'll go over some of the change points and maybe what that could mean to you, the possible Yamaha YZ450F consumer. Dave came off of a 2024 YZ450F. So in 25 they did change a little bit, but not very much. But in 26 they have several changes, most notably the frame. So we'll just start off. First things first, Dave, come over here. So Dave just got this bike at a dealership. Come over that way. $12,500?
$12,900.
$12,900.
Out
Look,
the door, yeah.
For you guys are going to want a new motocross machine in 2026. They are going to be more expensive, and the reason for that is the tariffs. The tariffs are going to cause probably a $1,500 MSRP markup on all motocross models. So if you find a dealership that's willing to waive that fee, you might want to buy them lunch and really hook them up, because dealerships aren't just going to raise your new motorcycle $1,500 for the for the shit of it. You know, they're going to have to do that because of the tariffs. So $12,500. Usually this is about a $10,000, $500, $10,500 is what is MSRP. So $12,900. Dave sold his 24 for $7,000. And Dave is like most of you guys out there. He keeps the motorcycle for 2 to 3 years, rolls that, sells it and rolls that money into a new machine. So my suggestion is, if you guys are able to do that, that's the easiest and cheapest way you guys can afford a new motorcycle. Keep it for a year or two and then sell it. That way it has the best cost. You could sell it and the resale value is still good. And then you roll that money over into a new bike. That way your payments aren't that much money. How much are your payments?
$220.
$220. This is how much this guy loves riding motorcycles right here. $220 a month. That's half of a car payment pretty much.
Yeah, but it's worth
Unless
it.
You're a Raptor owner, and that's about $1,200.
Exactly.
Okay, so what I did go through this a little bit before we started the video. I looked at the frame. Even though Yamaha didn't tell me what the change points are, obviously I have the same information you guys do over on Yamaha's website. I learned a little bit about this bike at Loretta Lynn's. So the frame has changed, and where that frame has been changed at is, if you can look inside of there, the shock tower is a little bit different, and then the down tube is a little bit different. And another aspect to this that has changed is the engine mounts are a little bit different as well as a thickness. If you remember, 2024 had a 2-piece front engine mount, and then 2025 they went to a solid piece. So now they are still on a solid piece, but if you looked at, that is a thinner solid front engine mount. And what Yamaha is trying to do is get us riders more comfort, more contact feeling. I've been a proponent of complaining about this bike since 2023. I'm a big 2022 YZ lover. I loved how planted it felt, and then they moved to 23 and it got a little bit stiffer in nature, but it did corner better. So now they're trying to bring some of that back, some more feel, some more front end comfort, and they're doing that by the way of the frame. So shock tower, if you guys take that fuel tank off and look inside of there, that has been changed quite a bit. Now there is a new shock, but just so you guys know, and I did ask Yamaha this, you can use your current 23 to 25 suspension. It will bolt up, no problems, even though the shock has been changed. The subframe is a little bit different, but the mounting points are the same, so you do not have to worry about that. A lot of your stuff will roll over. Obviously, your side panels will not roll over because this is a 2-piece design, and what they mean by that is, you can check this out. Well, let's talk about this before we take this off. So, not a huge difference, right? It's a seat cover, big deal, but what I like is the seat cover, it's basically meant for one-way grip. So if you move your hand this way, it's pretty smooth. But if you go to roll your fingers back, there's a lot more grip within these lines right here. So if you're pulling back and your ass is on here, right, it has a little bit more grip. So that is a unique seat cover design. You want to take that off, Dave? Mm-hmm. So the side panel now, if you guys remember, you had a little bit of a different side panel on your older bike. So now they call this a two-piece design, which is basically this thing pops out and then that piece remains. So no need to take that piece off, obviously, unless you want to look into this bike further and remove the whole subframe or whatnot. You don't need to take that off to get the shock off. What's cool about a Yamaha, and that remains the same for 26, is basically you take this off, take those two bolts off on the front tank, and you just flip this tank upward, and that shock comes right up right there. So you can just remove it. It's the easiest shock to remove out of all the bikes. So so again, subframe change right here, frame change, engine mounts. Your old ones will fit, but you know, these engine mounts are for this updated frame. And we'll move over here. Yamaha did change the shock, internal valving, as well as the fork, and they're trying to get a little bit more damping quality and control out of the suspension. So if I'm reading between the lines and I'm just a guy reading that, even though they're not telling us too much, I would assume that this suspension is a little bit firmer in damping, so that way the control of it is a little bit easier for us, as well as it's going to mate to more compliant chassis. When you have a more compliant chassis, you can get away with a stiffer dampening valving. So even though the spring rates, I'm pretty sure remain the same, the dampening is a little bit different. Linkages are the same. That hasn't changed. Dave already is putting his carbon fiber on.
Parts from the old bike.
So he's mounting. So just like what we told you, a lot of the old stuff does roll over. So he put his carbon on here already. They do have blue. You can see here. I don't know if it might be backlit, but we have blue louvers. I will start this thing up for you in a minute, but one thing I want to show you guys is there is a resonance chamber right here on the mid pipe. So that is for sound. Yamaha is trying to get their muffler to be compliant with the new FIM rules that are coming here to the States, which I heard got pushed back another year. So a lot of these manufacturers have been developing, I know this just because I've been involved in it, developing a quieter muffler to go with their engine package. So it's kind of BS that we're all trying to have a compliant muffler and they keep getting pushed back. As a consumer, I think it's kind of BS. We don't need a super quiet muffler. I know we're losing tracks to sound in some areas, but as far as racing goes, I don't think we need to do that. But nonetheless, this muffler is a little bit different. Resonance chamber there, and then inside of here, there's a big change inside there to be quiet. So I'm gonna start it up for you real fast. That is a lot quieter than previous version. And if you guys heard that little sound, it's like a hissing sound, and that hiss is coming from this resonance chamber right here in the middle. So again, mounting points are the same. Muffler itself is a little bit different. So like last year, the stock muffler is quite good. I really like the stock muffler, but it was quite aggressive off low end. That's why I went to Nekropovich to smooth this thing out. So even though I haven't rode this bike yet, I feel like having a quieter muffler will help the delivery and the connection of the throttle delivery. So that is going to be a welcomed addition to this 26 model. For you guys wondering, if you guys have the XPR water jacket, that's aluminum. They went to a stock aluminum jacket for this year. So that is for heat. I can tell you that I haven't had any problems with my plastic jacket, but if you guys live in somewhere really hot like I was back east in the humidity, it's nice to have an aluminum piece, so they went to that way in 2026. Clutch is obviously a hydraulic clutch, but the inner hub is different this year for more oil flow, and they're on a Nissan hydraulic clutch. Dave, you went to a hydraulic clutch on your other bike?
Yeah, the GYTR.
So that was a Brembo piece.
Yep.
So now they're on a Nissan.
Yep.
Dave already put one map in here, so light on is going to be your map 1 or map 2. So always map 2 is light on, map 1 is light off. Maybe I didn't explain that right before we started.
You said map 1, so yeah. So
when you loaded that, you went to map 1 or map 2?
That's in map 1.
Okay. Map 1 is light off, people. Map 2 is light on.
Okay.
So your map will be in no light.
Right, okay.
And intake here, the filter system's all the same. That is no change there. A unique piece right here, they went to a 1351 gearing. Last year was a 1349. I would assume, again, this is me just taking an educated guess here, 1351, they're trying to add a little bit more response because with the intake port changes that they made, as well as the muffler changes, we're going to smooth this Yamaha out. Maybe they wanted to add a little bit more response and close that gap between second and third gear to keep this bike a third gear luggable machine, because out of all the 450s, this is the most usable 450 machine out there in third gear. You can ride third gear in corners if you're lazy, or if you're an aggressive rider. Third gear is the magic gear. We talk about that all the time, but Yamaha is the only one that holds true to this day. You can ride third gear on this bike. So the gearing change, I would assume, is to try to keep that this way. You guys, I never had this problem, but some of you guys have. Bigger footed fellas or riders, they ride on this foot peg mount. They shaved this piece down, even though they talked about that last year. It looks like it's more so in the 26 model. So that aluminum piece is a little bit different. Looks a little bit better made. And quick adjustments on the shock now. So now you guys can simply turn that and you hear that the detent. So I have used these quick adjusts before, and some of them, the detent is really hard to find. Well, the stock ones that they use are pretty easy. So I do like the self-adjusting adjusters here. I'm still old school. I like a flat blade. I know you can do this on the side of the track, but I like to come in as I'm old and I need to rest anyway before my next change. So that is a little bit easier for you. But the rebound is still a, if I can find it, there it is. Still a flat blade. That is not a quick adjust like the KTM. The CCU and the ECU now have a locking feature. So in case of theft, we do live in the high desert, Dave. Thefts are high.
That's why I got to shift this thing.
So you can actually lock your bike. So if the wheelie boys come over and want to steal your machine, they can't, because they'll have to push this sucker down the road unless you have the code to get into the box. It will not start. So that is a nice feature. So if you're traveling to races, you don't have a van, and you're in a truck, you can lock this son of a bitch, and you'll be pushing it around. They might steal it, but they ain't riding it. Nope. So what they should do is make a big sign that says, this bike is locked, you will not be able to start it, so don't bother even steal me.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was thinking, because you have to set up your own password for it to use.
Right.
But still, they're still going to take your bike.
Just make a sign, Dave, and say, password is locked. You are fucked. You will not be able to steal me. Yamaha. Hello. Can we go to MX-34s? We're still on MX-33s. Hello. Yamaha. 2016's calling. We want MX-34s. Good. Thank you. So, Dave already got his Cycra front number plate, but another small change here is front number plate change. So, I know we're backlit here, so apologies, but
just a little thinner.
It's a little bit thinner. Yeah. Thinner. Front fender, same.
Same.
Graphics. I'm sick and tired of that word, bold new graphics. It's played out. They're just new graphics. There's nothing bold about it. Still stock offset 22. Still has this lame pad that Dave's gonna take off.
Oh, you know.
Because that is super lame. It's I don't even know what this is all about. This must be cheap to be made, but
yeah, I know.
still a nice feature. You can adjust your right here. Like I said, Nissan over Brembo. Don't know much about this system, but as soon as I get it, we'll talk about it and see if it has a nice linear feel. I'll get the piston size for you guys as well. We'll learn about that. But nonetheless, the chassis is the big thing for me. Engine delivery still is an important piece, but having a calmer feeling, more 22-like chassis is what I'm looking for. Look at the newer 23 to 25 YZ450. It took me a couple years. I like my bike, but I still don't get it as planted as my 22. So from what I've heard from other riders, I know a couple star guys have rode a stock production 26 YZ450 and they said they really like it. I talked to Gilly over there, suspension tech, and he said the riders are quite happy with the chassis, and there's supposed to be a wider window. So that track toughness that we talk about in our video is supposed to be a little bit of a wider window within this chassis right here. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's basically what this bike needs. A little bit more planted, a little bit more front wheel feel, because if you guys out there that have a YZ450F, your 23 to 25 owners out there, you know that your front end feels really light and vague. No matter what we try to do, it still doesn't have that planted feel like the older bike. Sure, the older bike was a little bit of a pig, but it was planted. With some weight, I think is needed in our sport. A little bit of weight helps with chassis and a planted feel. Going too light sometimes hurts stability. And for me, for you guys out there that are not in shape, or your older guys, you want a bike that's planted. And we can always make this thing corner. So maybe this has a blend of that with the chassis changes that Yamaha made. Look, Yamaha has very smart R&D riders. Look, Travis Preston's a great rider. They had Stevie Tarkowski for a while. He was a good rider. Lots of input. Stephen Butler. And that's just the American side of things. The Japanese side, lots of great quality riders and human beings over there that can make these bikes work well. And there's no secret. Like, Yamaha's been my favorite YZ4. The Yamaha's been my favorite 450 for quite some time. And sure, I know there'll be comments in here, oh, I threw a rod or my valves or whatever, but that happens to everything. So, Dave, when are we riding this? Or you, sorry.
I'm hoping this weekend.
You're going to have this thing in here a whole week and not ride it.
I know, but I'll be at work, so I won't be home, so it'll be fine.
Fireman Dave, everybody.
Hey, but
can we get a commitment right here, right now for Loretta Lynn's 26?
I'm hoping to be there. I'm trying. It's expensive. Let's just be honest. It's expensive, but I'm trying. I want to go. It's our last year. I want to try.
Does he do it?
It's 50-50. I think yes.
You know I want to go. It's I've got to go back.
You only live once, Dave.
Hey,
yes.
It does feel thinner. Maybe it's just a placebo effect.
I think it's placebo. You coming? So Dave came off of, just so I'm going through Dave's garage here. So Dave came off of a flat top seat concept seat from last year, right?
It's a
so
little
if you do put that on there, it does make it a little bit of a wider feel. When you go back to a stock seat and the shape, that's the perception of it. Look how much thinner.
Yeah, okay.
So with you guys out there, I still prefer the stock shape for side-to-side movement. Like for ass comfort, nothing better than a flat top.
Yeah, that's what we
I have no ass, right? But for you guys out there that want to lean your bike this way, this seat does help that a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. So 26 YZ450F. Hope to ride them here pretty soon. If not, I'm going to ride Dave's. And then maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll bring out my Yamaha. You can ride mine. And let's compare.
Okay.
Even though mine has a bunch of shit done to it, let's see how much the guys over there have closed the gap on a 25 YZ450F.
Yeah.
Again, check out more content on KieferInkTesting.com. If you have any questions about this bike, hit me up. Chris at KieferInkTesting.com. That is that virtual door that helps you guys out. No other media can do that besides us, because we care about you. Oh, we got a cap. We still got, no, this is stock cap?
No.
Oh, so you put a 1.8 on.
Yeah, I took my old one off.
1.1 is stock.
Yep.
1.8 is a great idea for you guys who want to get something. Dave already went to the carbon, like we said, and then he's got axles. We got chain adjuster blocks.
Yeah, because you can't.
We got it all.
ones are hard.
What else? I know it's gonna be a 20-minute video, but what else are we doing to this thing?
That's it.
For how long?
That's it.
Give me a time frame so when you do get wheels and all the other shit that you're gonna get,
I don't want to get wheels.
I can bust your balls.
I don't want to get wheels because it's too rigid,
Too stiff.
and I might get new stock wheels to have 2 sets of wheels for sure, but maybe exhaust down the road. But that's.
Will you come out in the garage once or twice a night just to look at your bike?
Yes.
Amen, because that's what we all do as riders.
Exactly.
Hey man, it's peeking. I'm just gonna hold on. I'm gonna give you a live. Hold on, give you guys a live look at Dave. What he's gonna do. Hold on. This is Dave in here watching Netflix. Nice. That thing's nice. Oh, I'll be right there. I'll just pause it.
Not far from the truth.
That's Dave.
Not far from the
Look
truth.
at it. We've all been there. Is that accurate?
Yeah, but you should have gone over and grabbed that can of SC1.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
And
SC1.
then sprayed a little bit of that on there and be like, yeah.
That's later on, Heather. Okay, that's later on if you guys leave, so you guys will see my techniques.
All right, guys.
Techniques. I saw them last year.
That wraps it up. Any questions, hit me up on my email. Happy to help you guys, and we'll see you at the track. Let me know if you guys got yours. Let me know how you like it. And yeah, feed me some information. See y'all. Oh, like, subscribe, tell people. Helps us out. See ya.